And
What's up,
we'll leave.
guys? Thank you back. Sorry for the inconvenience and sorry for the
I have no idea.
We're just gonna throw this as this is Henry's fault because he's got the haunted jail.
It happened. I don't know how much you follow the different. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to watch out there on the paranormal. But if you've watched any of our back episodes from the Gilchrist, you'll know that this is not an uncommon thing. It doesn't happen all the time. But as like you're saying, your frustration right now, what's going on at your studio never really happens. It seems like that happens more than it doesn't happen when I'm doing interviews from the Gilchrist. When I do them at other places, not so much. But when I'm here, there seems to be technical difficulties more than not.
Well, that's one thing about that's been proven that if people are in a haunted space, they can travel in between.
Well, they're energy beings. They're energy beings. So I was doing an interview with, oh my gosh, I'm so bad with names, Chris. I'm so sorry, but someone out of the UK. No, that one out of the UK we did. Yeah, I forget the name of his show, but he had never had any problems. And this guy came up with the name of Frank. And I'm like, I'm shitting my pants over here thinking he's one of our tricksters that will travel around. And it was a very interesting interview, but he had technical difficulties. Said, well, I'd never had this happen. But like I said, it's happened and happened. But let's get off that subject. So how are you tonight?
I'm doing much better now that we have our viewers back. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. So we are live on my personal Facebook, on Underworld's Facebook, and on YouTube. So if you go to Underworld, give us a like and a follow. If you go to YouTube,
give us a like and a subscribe.
And comment. Let us know if you like it.
I'm gonna suggest something now. I'm just gonna throw this out there. This is the first time I'm ever gonna say this. But if any of your viewers would think what they see tonight, if they find me anywhere near interesting, and think that maybe Henry Lee should just start doing a YouTube out of the Gilchrist County Jail, let's get some likes over on your page, Chris. Sarah, give me a feedback to see if people would find it interesting. I do a lot of live feeds, but I have not thrown my hat into that arena as of yet.
Right. That's why we're here talking to you.
Nice.
I want to throw out for Gilchrist County Jail. Like you said before on the last, before we had technical difficulty, I've been to this jail. I've walked into this jail. I've experienced this jail. And I went there with the dude. I know we talk about him every week. It's family. I love that.
Great. Can I stop you 1 minute, Chris? Being you brought him up, I have had. They were at our event, mind you, but I went to when they had at the like an RV park, and they let me backstage with them at their camper, and they were doing some live stuff, acoustic set, which that wouldn't really sell with their fans. But let me tell you what. If you think for 1 second anyone out there has seen it, that they're not seasoned musicians and can't play, they had chills running up and down my spine with an acoustic guitar, a fucking bucket, and nothing else. And it blew my mind how good they are, how talented musicians. So you may not be into heavy metal, but let me tell you, they are seasoned, excellent musicians.
Absolutely. I've heard them on tour in hotel rooms and Airbnbs at 4 a.m. with that acoustic guitar. I know exactly what you mean. So
yeah,
we actually have a video of Brian.
We do. We have a video that I took of Brian while we were there on something he experienced from that jail. But I kind of want to get more into the interview, and then we'll start playing videos.
All right. Is the REM pod going off again?
Is that the REM pod going off?
That's not yours?
No.
No, I hear the REM pod, but it ain't mine.
Oh, no, we don't have any equipment set up.
Nope.
Oh, that's really strange. No, I'm sitting here looking at my REM pod right now. It's not doing anything, but I hear in one, and I assumed you had something set up in your end. Strange, but we'll continue on.
All right. So you were talking about how you purchased and how you came about the Gilchrist County Jail. Can you explain that a little more?
Yes, my wife and I, which I must give her shout outs, and we must give her shout out, Cheryl. I'm not the only owner. I might be the ugly mug of Gilchrist right now, but Cheryl is the one that really takes the time to learn all these spirits' names. She's the one that has some gifts versus I'm the caretaker versus
Right.
she's the one. Yeah, so I consider myself the caretaker of the spirits and here at the Gilchrist. But as we were talking about, when we seen it on Facebook, like you were saying earlier, we acted upon it. Now, normally I procrastinate and say, yeah, that's cool, haha. But we both were compelled to drive from Sarasota to Gilchrist, looked at the jail, got a hold of Matthew Perry, like I said, of Watson Realty. What made us stand out from the other people trying to buy the jail was he asked permission before we came in to this place, Spirits of Gilchrist. We are here to look at your property. We mean you no harm, no malice. We would please like entry to your dwelling. With respect, we walked in, and at the end of the day, we were being outbidded by other people. But because of those actions, Arlene Hale decided that these people really are the ones that should be getting this place and passing the torch of caretaker to them.
Right. Because you also are an investigator plus owning a haunted jail.
Well, unlike a lot of people out there, I keep it real. Now, keep in mind, I had paranormal experiences from a near-death experience, and we'll have another show one day and talk about that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when I first bought the jail, I just had paranormal experiences in my life. I was not an investigator, any way, shape, or form. My wife now, her mother was a medium, still not a paranormal investigator. When we bought the jail is when Henry Lee started investigating. Now, mind you, we go all over. You follow me, Chris. You know I go to Tombstone. We go to a lot of places as a family investigating team. We don't have anybody but me, Cheryl, and James, and our kids, Cody. Losing track of myself. Sorry.
It's okay.
But anyway.
You go to Tombstone and these haunted places on vacation.
Right. So we experience other places beside the jail. And to be honest with you, I love seeing you guys here at the Gilchrist because, as I said, I'm the caretaker. So it's like I have experiences here, but I see more through you guys' eyes than I see through my own because I'm their caretaker, like Jack in The Shining.
Yeah, that's true. So you guys bought the property. You guys are cleaning it up. You guys are renovating. I know you guys are putting a new roof on. You're putting windows in.
You're my main guy.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot more than when I was there.
Yes. Moving along. Like I was saying about the historical side, it's unheard of that a private couple like Cheryl and I owning it. So we're going through the steps to make it a historically recognized place here in Florida, as places like Jasper, Clay. We're following the same guidelines so we can have visitors again.
Right.
But like I said, our story through our Facebook page, I find it very intriguing because looping it back when you called me a paranormal investigator, I'm learning to be a paranormal investigator. I'm still very new at this. There's people like Scotty Burns. There's people like Chris Goodwin. Then the list goes on and on and on. I can sit here and keep going on.
Right.
But it's me compared to them. I'm a toddler stumbling around. I was just seeing one of our old episodes that we filmed when we first bought the place with the G Team Paranormal.
Yeah.
I see how much I progressed, and I think that's the biggest thing I can offer or we can offer here at the Gilchrist on this kind of note. Yeah, we get investigators. Yeah, it's a haunted place, but our story of
It's
buying the
a lot
place.
deeper. It's a lot deeper than just coming to investigate. Like these were actual real criminals. It was real people that went through a really shitty situation while they were there.
It really did. I'm sitting in a little portable fan right now,
Yeah,
but later when we walk through the jail, it's miserably hot here in North Florida right now.
yeah,
It was 99 degrees,
yeah,
humidity 317%, like the surface of Venus. It was here today. Heat index about 115. It is miserable in here.
yeah. But that's what I'm trying to get to. Like it was just miserable, and you got to think there's that many cells and that many prisoners. There wasn't any windows on the jail. There was bars. So they had to go through all the hurricanes. They had to go through the heat waves. They had to go through insects, bugs, everything. Plus, they working all day. Like they're going back to that, and you don't even know what they had to go through after they left. That warden left at 6 p.m. That's 12 hours of whatever these people, criminals, wanted to do to each other. You know, that's just a recipe for a haunting.
Big time recipe for haunting. Even though we weren't a hanging jail, many people died here, and just for one reason or another. And
Right.
yeah, very heavy place. The residual hauntings here are stack up just like the intelligent haunting. And what I have found over all the people that have come in and out of the place, and I'm going to start working on more aggressively, is the EVPs that everyone, even if you're getting no action on these tools here, REM pods, K2s, you start running that open mic in here, and it's amazing the stuff people are getting.
Oh, I'm sure. You see something?
Sorry.
What'd you see?
I've been kind of active in here today because I haven't been in here for weeks. I took it some downtime. Filmed a movie here not too long ago, but that was weeks ago.
Yeah.
We've had a couple things going on in here. Like I said, something passed by earlier when we first started. The atmosphere changed on this side. It felt like an atmospheric change in here, and things started going on. So it's definitely an interesting place.
Yeah. So we went there. I went there. Like I said, the dude invited me to be their stagehand for the little tour that we did, and your stop was the first stop, which they enticed me that it's a metal show at a haunted location. And I was like, sign me up.
Sold.
Where do I see your soul? So then we went there and met you, and you were the greatest hospitality ever. I don't know if anybody in the band's told you that, but you're great at hosting. It was an amazing time. But we went there.
You're making them blush.
Oh. But we went there, and that was the first thing I said to you. I was like, so when do we get to the jail? But yeah, when I went there, it was during the day, the first time we walked in there, and we were walking around, and we walked to a little section that you have memorabilia, old handcuffs, everything. And you walked up to me and you said that you wanted me and Rudy to go upstairs, just us, and see what happens. And you come back and tell me. So me and Rudy walked up the stairs, and I turned the corner around the hallway, and I'm a big guy, so I'm shoulder to shoulder to wall. And I don't know if it was because I'm a big guy in a new jail, or there was a spirit or something trying to walk past me, but I got hit in the chest so hard that I couldn't breathe for a good 45 minutes. And I walked back down. And I walked back down, and the first thing I say to you is, when do I get back in here with all of my equipment? Because now I have unfinished business.
And that was the amazing part about buying the place, guys. In 16 years, 17 years of Arlene Hale, she broke the cherry on the place. In other words, no one
Yeah.
really investigated this place until when she bought it. Then she's the one that formed the relationships, and it's that night that you speak of that I was here. I like to use the word, we were all overwhelmed because the energy they were putting off and requiring from us, from the jail being shut down for so long. Because shortly before that, if you remember the story I told you,
Yeah.
the city shut us down because of the renovation we're doing,
Right.
which
Right.
made it impossible for us to take in any money, which has been a real strain. I'm not going to lie to you. I only had so much money to invest in this. I've way exceeded that budget. And being closed now, the only thing that's going to save us is the Casper that we're launching the virtual ghost on in October. But with that said, doing the renovations and all, we were shut down. And we came in there and we were all overwhelmed one way or another. Me, it was my gastrointestinal, which I hypothesized that if you have a problem, a prior problem in your body, and you're getting that spiritual energy, it'll affect an ailment in your body. So that's why I hypothesized that, like you had it in your chest, in which you were picking up on was cell 4. Someone hung themselves in there, so your breath was taken away. Me, I was affected in my gastrointestinal. We had another person that had a bad headache. But it's what they weren't attacking us. They were so enthused we were there,
Right.
and the energies that we brought, it was like we were all short circuiting out at the same time.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they want to tell their stories. They crave human interaction.
Right. Which that's actually the first location that I kind of just went in freely. I didn't ground myself. I didn't protect myself at all, which as an investigator, you should always ground yourself. You should always protect yourself somehow, ghost or not. Like, if you know you're going into an investigation, ground yourself, protect yourself.
And it doesn't matter what it may be. It might be a crystal. It might be rosary beads. It might be me.
Yeah.
I use an Italian horn and the Italian where you see this. You'll like this story. You're probably, I don't know if you know this story, but you're familiar with this from heavy metal shows, right?
Yeah.
It comes from Rodney James Dio back in the day. He made that very famous.
That
People
part-
associated that. They associated with that as a satanic thing that he did. But what that actually was, that his Italian grandmother told him to do that because he might encounter evilness in the crowd, and that cast the evil back. Being Italian, I have full belief in that. So like you're saying, ground yourself, and it may be a crystal, but something that you believe is going to protect you, because if you have no belief in it, there is no protection in it.
Right. Right. Absolutely. We have a couple comments.
Holy diaper?
Love this. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you for
Thank you,
watching.
Nathan. Thank you. It's going to get better. Trust me.
Holy Diver. Yeah.
Very correct. Yeah. Oh, don't get me started. Gonna get away. Oh, yeah. I love. Well, I'm an old man, so that's why I like Dodd and all, because I grew up when metal was just starting. My first album was Paranoid by Black Sabbath. So
Nice. So getting to that in the music, and Ronnie Dio, rest in peace. But
I'm not left-handed. That was hard to do.
It's cool. I had many years throwing up the horns. So
Yes.
when they're renovating it and you guys are doing work on it, you guys play the music that the spirits would listen to back in the day for them. That's that correct?
That is correct. I'll talk about one story in particular. And if y'all seen Rose Red by Stephen King, it's one of the songs in there, but it's been so long since I seen it. One day I had this overwhelming sensation. I heard this song going in my head. And it's easy if you say, if you have some words or a title or a artist to ask Google, YouTube.
Yeah.
But when all you got is it haunted me for weeks. I finally, with talking to people, I come up with it. It was In the Mood by oh my gosh.
Very good.
No, not Benny Goodman. But anyway, In the Mood, Glenn Miller. 1930s, 1940s.
Yeah.
That's what got me on the thing. I'm going to start playing their period music. Yes, they respond to I play from the Delta Blues, from Muddy Waters to the 60s to the dance music. And I suggest that you guys, listeners that are paranormal, maybe just starting out, do your history, find out what you could play. They love here at the jail. They love Betty Goodman. They love the Honeymooners. My wife will ask questions like, who was the president when you passed away, when you became a spirit? It narrows down what years you're talking about. Very, very good question. I give my wife hats off that I've never really heard anybody asking that question before. My wife, if they were, hats off to them too. But she has used this at places like Jasper. She's been answered Truman. She's been answered many different. It's a good question to ask, Chris, on your next investigation.
Yeah.
Ask it on your EVPs and see what you get. It's interesting.
That's pretty awesome. I would have never even thought of that. Speaking
No, I
of,
love. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead. It's your show.
Speaking of old and classic and to that.
Thank you. I am.
You also have another haunted object other than the jail out front of the jail.
Well, it seems like Cheryl and I have a knack of being in haunted places even before our accident, and even before the jail. We have spirits. We just seem to be attracted to it. Yes, we have a 1947 Plymouth suicide wagon that there it is. She actually started in the Bronx in 1947. I don't know if you have a close up of the passenger side, but there are 3 bullet holes in that window. And I could show you in live tonight if you don't have a close up, Chris.
Oh, no, that's the only one I have.
Two deputies died in that car in a mob hit, 1953. I found its way down to Sarasota, and we were able to restore it with the Gilchrist. Makes a beautiful addition here. This is, in my opinion, people talk about haunted objects. I think this falls under the category, in my opinion, of residual haunting. So much tragic shit happened in this thing, where it's not the spirits that may be on dolls or cars or things. And I'm hypothesizing, mind you, because I try to keep scientific mind. That's why I don't just try to write shit off. Oh, I heard a creak, or oh, this or that. I'm always looking for a reason to wise. And with that said, and maybe some of your viewers can help me out, I use dowsing rods, and I try my damnedest to stay steady. And when I'm using these rods, I can't explain them. I can explain sometimes what goes on with K2s and REM pods and all. You can usually debunk a lot of that. But if you're familiar with dowsing rods, I really can't explain what's going on. I do many experiments with the dowsing rods with several people. Maybe this October, Chris, we'll sit in here and you can be part of that. It's really interesting when you've got 5 people with dowsing rods, can't see each other, and you have, like Sarah asked the questions, and all the dowsing rods are answering independently the same answers. It's kind of hard to think the shit when we don't know what the answer should be amongst the 5 of us. Well, so I'm having a real hard time explaining dowsing rods, which it's like my American Express card when I used to have one back when that was pertinent. Yeah. I'd never leave home without my rods. Do not let other people use your rods. Never leave home. On the quietest night in any destination, or you're trying to talk to a loved one, you need no experience. You need no, just pick a setup, start asking questions, get yourself
Yeah.
nice and steady. I sit down, and I don't know if you see me, Chris, how I do mine. I'll lock my arms onto my legs. I'll sit down and start the conversation going, trying to move as little as possible.
Yeah, you're fine. So you owning the haunted jail, do you have experience the whole time that you're in the jail, or is there days that it's not so active?
There's times that I'm watching some of you guys in here, and I'm like, why don't you do this for me? There's something coming out tomorrow on Univision. It's on the Gilchrist page. Let me tell you what, the Spanish, they came up from Miami with War Party, Jenny and Armando. We had a poltergeist go on that night. We had something fly across the freaking room, which I'd never seen. But I'll sit here alone and like, come on, guys, just move the cup a little bit. Make that ball roll just a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's some days, I refer to those days as being Gilcrested. And Chris, you know what being Gilcrested is.
Yeah.
You're feeling it, you're seeing it, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
There's other days, it's just an old building that I'm working on. I'm not going to lie to you. See nothing, feel nothing, no tools going off, no nothing. There has been times we first got the place that I'm like, I'm a sucker. This place ain't got nothing going on. But once you get to know it, and that's why Cheryl and I are so fortunate, because it's an expensive hobby, if we want to call it a hobby. And to have the money to travel there, pay, and I stick up for some paranormal destinations. If they're keeping it where the normal man can afford it, like our prices, that's great, because there is a lot of upkeep, insurance.
Absolutely.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But some places can be. It is what it is. But yeah, I like to try to. We like to try to keep it affordable. We know we've got something special here. You've been here. And that's why we're going to be launching Casper, the virtual ghost hunting, to where what you'll see here tonight, pretty soon, there'll be a website that your viewers can get on. And we're thinking the price is going to be $10 a month streaming, $100 a year, where you're getting to see 24/7. I'm going to have a REM pod, K2 in every cell. You'll get to, from your computer right now, get to investigate from your house. Wow. You can hear the EVPs. You'll be able to hear and see all this going on. And then you'll be able to see all the hunters that are coming in, the interviews that I do from the jail. It's going to be, if your followers are tired of Hollywood and really want to see like you guys in action, many other teams action in a teamed haunted place, it's going to be a very interesting way to help save this place. So I'm running out of money, folks. I'm not asking for donations. I'm just asking to subscribe like a YouTube channel, but I'm cutting out YouTube. Your dollars will go to restoring this historical place and helping us achieve that. So if your viewers, when this comes up, even if they got it for a month just to check it out, would be so helpful. Because if we can get a couple of thousand people even for a month, it'd be, I'd thank every one of them personally, one way or another. Absolutely. Just by, like I said, I don't want to beg people for money to restore the place, or I want to give something. And I think this virtual ghost hunting that Cheryl came up with is something special. We put a lot of time and effort.
We actually have a picture of the Casper. So
that is Casper Mobile.
Can you explain what all this is?
Okay, what you're seeing there, which I have it close by right now, we could show it in the jail. That's it, Jasper there. Well, what you're seeing there is that's a camera from Mobotics. Mobotics is the one that does all our military cameras, most highest grade infrared thermal cameras on the planet. And when I tell you, we are the only ones using this application, these cameras are so advanced. Mobotics knows where every camera is if there's on the planet. And no one has got this kind of technology tied up in paranormal. I've got very high expectations for this. It's been 2 years in the making. We're getting ready to launch it. This bad boy will catch everything and anything visual. It'll pick up sounds. It's going to have K2, the REM pods in front of these cameras. As you can see, the red light, that's the thermal or the infrared coming out of it. The lens on the left is normal video. The camera on the right is thermal. The little underneath it is a microphone, which from my point, I'm able to speak to the jail too. Not only can I hear it, I can speak through there as well if we have visitors and I can speak to them. But with that said, for our subscribers, you'll be able to, if you listen real close, you're going to pick up all those EVPs because there's not going to be any other sounds going on. It's going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be worth coming into. We're ironing out the bugs. I'll be doing different, when it's fully running, all the anomalies will ping to a cloud. Then I'll send teasers out. Hey, last night, 2:30 a.m., cell 3, look what happened. And it'll intrigue people, but yeah, this system is off the chain.
Right. So you're doing all the renovations, and once you get the jail started going, you said that you're going to start trying to do weekly investigations with groups once everything's open.
Just like we were before you started following us, we will be open. We will be offering the jail to be booked to where you come in and investigate for 12 hours. If you need our help, we got all the tools. If you don't want our help, you can come in alone. I'll be on the premises in case there's any emergencies.
Right.
And don't feel intimidated. If some of your viewers think, damn, I'd really like to go, but I'm not as experienced as Chris or Henry Lee and Sarah. I can't do that. I don't have the tools. I encourage you to come and I'll hunt with you. I will take time. You're coming to our place. I'll break out all my tools. And just like you see me sitting here now, I'll walk you through a real paranormal investigation. I'm a newbie, mind you, but I'm not so full of myself. Like, I've been doing this for 45 friggin' years and I'm an expert. You know what? I got a saying for that. Right. This is how I feel. This is how I feel about the paranormal. Let me see if I can get it right. Sometimes I learn, sometimes I teach. I'm blowing it. I'm blowing it. But I'm never an expert because I'll never have anything to learn. Right. So I've always, I'm a teacher sometimes. I'm always a student, but I'm never going to be an expert, or I'm never going to be, I don't ever want to be that guy. So right. I'm very approachable to the paranormal because I'm new at it. Right. And I've got, I own the place. I'm more of a paranormal destination owner and for myself and my family investigator as far as investigating places. And right. I want to share what I'm learning along the way.
Well, I feel like being an investigator, even like the really seasoned, like Zach Bagans or Dakota Landon, or just the people that have been doing this, or Josh or Ghost Hunters, I feel like it's the paranormal. Nobody really knows. Like, we have our ideas, we have our professionals, that we have people that have been doing this for a long time, but you never really, you can learn something new every investigation. Like,
oh yeah, and every investigator. That's why I'm so excited about the virtual hunting. Yeah. It'll give our viewers an opportunity to see investigating, real investigating, different levels of investigating, different right. energies of the investigators, different tools they use. It's going to be excellent to be part of. May start out a little slow when we open back up, is when people like you are going to come in and your viewers are going to see it, and our subscribers will see it. And it's a new show every week. Every week. you see something new. Oh,
Right.
that's how you use that tool. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's for using it a different, like Delco, like Tesla. I'm seeing so many different things through War Party Paranormal that are so intriguing. The Estes method, now with the Delco glasses.
Yeah.
I suggest look them up. They're they're really cool.
Oh, I want a pair of my own. I know exactly what Delco. So anybody that doesn't know what
I don't want to make you jealous. I don't make you jealous, and I haven't asked him yet, Mr. Delco, Mr. Michael Delco. If I want a pair, but I want you to autograph them, please.
Oh yes. So from what I know, what Delco is, when you do the Estes method, you put the noise canceling headphones on it. And you put a mask, just a regular sleeping mask. But the Delco, it's a flashing light pointed towards you. You have the noise canceling headphones, and you have modified goggles that are painted red. So you have the flashes of red going while you're trying to do the Estes method. That's correct, right?
That is correct. You marinate for about 15 minutes. When I did it, I got a visual, and I explained it. I knew nothing about Delco. I explained it after a while, that flashing, because I'm not, and I wouldn't suggest someone who has seizures or seizure prone to put them on.
Yeah.
Because after a while, I could see my face in front of me without skin, without eyes. It was just my skull in front of me resonating back. And I guess that's one of the effects of it. Really cool stuff in a Tesla coil. Let me tell you, if you watch on Paraflix, there's a episode. It's called what is it? Incarcerated by the Mike and Eric Vandelaine. We used those, and it was incredible.
I actually have a video of that.
Do you now?
I do. So this is a video. Do you want to explain the paranormal investigation that happened at the jail? What, about a month ago, right?
Not good on times, but let me look at it, and I'll try to. I'll remember.
All right.
We have to use this to show yourself to us.
Okay.
Can you come through? We're going to start taking some photographs. On the count of 3.
That was an incredible night. Let me tell you what, with the that mirror thing and the smoke and the lasers, it's a hell of a visual. I've seen them work before. It was intriguing to be part of that, and I love. It's one of the reasons why I love owning the place. You know, we have supporters like that come and teach us, and we're blessed to have War Party as one of our sponsors. They help us out. They're going to be speaking at our event. It's for sure, Chris and Sarah. It's October 28th. We're going to have a Para-Unity event here at the Gilchrist. It is going to happen.
I will show up. We'll be there. Absolutely. Yes. So with that video, they're doing the Estes method. And I want to explain for people that don't know, the smoke that's coming off, that's not for the Estes method. That's for the laser grid. That's for the laser grid. You pointing down a hallway. Actually, I have a picture of the laser grid on the jail.
That's the room we're sitting in right now. It's in front of me. Yeah, that's part of a laser grid. And as you're saying, that the smoke and mirror per se is not part of Estes, but we had several different things going on that night. We were running in conjunction with each other, which is a good thing, because when you got K2s, you got Estes going on, you got REM pods going on, you got cameras going on, you're getting, especially when they start going, and I know you've seen this, guys, when they start going off in unison. And what I find good is when, say, if you and I are investigating, okay, we're using K2s, yours are going off and mine's going off. That assures me that what I'm seeing on mine, because I know, and I'm just saying this, I'm not saying you're a cheater, but when they're both going off instead of just one, you're getting an affirmative thing. When you have different tools going off at the same time, you're getting different. It's more credible.
Right. Absolutely. So, we do have, you mentioned the Tesla. They did that Tesla also experiment. We have a video of that also. For people that have headphones in or have anything,
turn it down.
Turn it down now. We're going to give you a warning. It's loud sound.
I don't have one yet, but I'm buying one soon.
Okay. I want one too.
I do too.
So
they're
if
not expensive.
Everybody put their volume down. Here's the Tesla.
As far as charging a room up for before investigation, now that's what I'm interested in Tesla, because it's gonna screw with everything you got running, but it fills the room with energy,
right?
And like
so
plausible energy they can use.
It's pretty much when you walk into Spencer's and you see the globe with the Tesla going, and it hits the fingers. So it's pretty much EM pump. Did we lose you? Okay, cool. So it's pretty much an EM pump, just with more electricity. Other than coming out of a battery, it's coming off the spark.
Right, but it's a low voltage spark, to where I hypothesize too, to where I think the reason why spirits use batteries and low voltage is because, like us, if you go and grab your hands around a friggin' 220 panel box, what's it going to do to you? Short circuit you. That energy is just us. They can only handle so many amps before it's gonna, just to destroy them as well. So, like I said, I hypothesize on a lot of things, and it's something better to do on a weekend than sitting at a bar, polluting my mind. That's what I really like about like-minded paranormal investigators. When you're in a serious investigation, I'm not going to say we did have a few drinks that night, but it was about the concert more than investigation that evening. That's why you weren't grounded. We should let everyone know that it was just a tour, wasn't investigation that night. But
that was just hey, you guys are here with the band. I know you guys want to go see it, so let's go see it, walk around. That was. But it's
a very fun thing to do. I enjoy the hell out of it. I enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy the closeness with my wife when we go on private ones. It's really a wonderful place to own.
So we also have, as we're going into the videos now, I have a couple more pictures that I want to get through. So
before we can get into the investigation,
I want to play this. I don't think you've seen this, Henry. I don't think I've played this for you. It was when, not the first time, it was after the show when we went back to Gilchrist at night. So me, Brian, and Rudy went in there, and me and Brian went, so you go upstairs, go down the hallway, and it's the first left. Is that cell 6?
Yeah.
So me and Brian were both in cell 6. So when the videos play, we're not going to be able to hear either of us because it mutes it. So we can get your take on it after the video plays.
Okay.
What happened? What made you feel that? Was that necessary?
Brian.
Asshole.
Go.
Yeah, be done.
Yeah, we'll be down. We'll be down in a minute.
That was real. Oh, man. All right. Listen, I'm gonna go. Listen.
Everybody's,
I get it, but I can't
Go.
listen, bro. I can't do this. Man.
All right, we need to get out of
All
here.
right, I got it.
Yeah, so that was after the show, and we walked in there, and we were sitting there, and Brian just had he still won't even talk about it to this day. But
He was overwhelmed. That's why I used the word overwhelmed. We were all overwhelmed that evening. I mean, we all walked away from it. No one was hurt. And that's why I used the word overwhelmed. We were all that evening we were Gilchristed. They came at us from all of them came at us at once. They were all very deprived. That's why I like to try to come and keep this place energy in here,
right.
because it's like say if you had several puppies and you've been gone all day,
Right.
you come home and they hear that car pull up, and you open that door and they come flooding out. You're overwhelmed by all of them.
Right.
That's the best way I can explain what happened that evening. And if your viewers are wondering what looks, if they're not educated on orbs, the dust particles, exactly what they are floating around, is dust particles. But I did notice something early in on what you showed me that looked like a little more than dust. But yeah, I was overwhelmed too. My intestines and my gut is what affected me that night. And we all had something a little different happening. But yeah, we were overwhelmed by spiritual energy.
My other experience in that jail, me and Rudy were for where cell 6 is, right across the hall from cell 6. We were sitting there, and I put my flashlight on my phone going up so the room would illuminate with light. And I was just sitting there, and we were talking amongst each other, and Rudy was like, "Oh my God, do you see that?" He's like, "Look at the light on your phone." And it literally looked like somebody lit a cigarette, and that first little smoke that comes off the cigarette, it looked like full smoke and illuminating in the light with no smell of smoke, no nothing. So I don't even know what to put that as.
When I think I've seen it all from the Gilchrist, I just you never know what you're going to get. Like I said, I hadn't seen a poltergeist here, but it's going to be aired tomorrow on that. You can look it up on the Gilchrist page. We were drinking little espresso shots, and Armando says, "Hey, keep the cups. I don't have any cups." So I put mine. I had my sheriff, that mannequin, the sheriff, and I put mine on top of his shoulder. It sat there all night. We're doing the investigation here at Univision. Things are going crazy, and all of a sudden that cup looks like somebody flicked it off. Now I don't know if they caught it on their cameras. I was busy answering questions, and I wasn't investigating once again. I was just being the liaison caretaker of the jail, and that's why when people ask, "Oh, well, what happens with me?" I see it through their eyes because I'm the caretaker, and it's all about business. Right. And but on those times I am alone, sometimes I see little next to nothing, and it amazes me when we have a day like when we got Gilchrist. It amazes me. Like I said, it amazes me sometimes just the different stuff that we see.
So speaking of that, since you've bought the jail from then to now, what's the craziest experience you've had at the jail so far?
Well, the one we spoke of was right on up there. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't felt that way in too many places. A few times, not many. Um, Tonight we had the G team in here. The disembodied whistle was
Oh wow.
unexplainable. And I'll tell you, it was that damn song we were talking about earlier, "In the Mood" by Glenn Miller. I was still whistling it.
Yeah.
So earlier in the day, I catch a Rosie Bow in the jail, and the girls are screaming and all. And I did whistle it earlier in the day, about 45 minutes to an hour before we heard this.
Right.
So there would have been no way without a sound studio that anyone could have manipulated all the girls screaming and me. But I come walking out of the RV, had an RV here at the time, with coffee, and I hear me whistling.
Wow.
So I figured one of the girls taped me whistling or something. But I only hear the whistling. I don't hear everybody saying, this and that. And I have a copy of me earlier in the day whistling Catching the Snake, which we could put them back side by side. It wasn't a direct match.
Right.
But it was the mimic. We believe we have a mimic here, which a mimic, on a spiritual sense, it likes like a whistler, like me, like whistling. It's it's mimicking things that I'm doing.
Right.
I'm not going to stretch it out saying it's going to mimic an evil me and consume me. I mean, maybe we can have a good scary movie you and I could produce together to where a mimic takes over me. And I'm secretly in the septic tank here at Gilchrist, and the mimic is now out there creating chaos. But I've got lots of ideas for movies and books from this place. Because look at my muse.
I've been a haunt actor for 13 years, so I'm pretty good at being the evil guy. So speaking of, we talked about owning haunted objects, owning the car, owning the old cop car. You do also have another piece of haunted object. I'm going to bring her up right now.
That is one of the things. We've had people from Citrus Paranormal that swears the doll blinked at him. I believe it was D&D Paranormal that actually caught the eyes blinking. Is it one of those dolls that you can check? I've got her at the house now because the rats were getting to her here. But it is one of those blinky dolls, but you got to kind of shake her to blink. Like I said, I've had grown men run out of here. And that's one of our haunted objects as well. We have lots of dolls. I don't know if I sent you a picture of all the dolls we have at the house. But there's another thing that's here that, and I'm not jumping on a bandwagon. I've got Patrick Cardasco here, and he can tell you too. Right. But as you know, there's a lot of woke things going on in the news, and it's becoming very prevalent, and we're opening our eyes to different attitudes and lifestyles and gender assignment per se. Right. So I don't want to sound like that I'm trying to jump on or make fun of. I say this out of respect for the paranormal and the touchy subject of woke. But we actually have a transgender spirit here at the Gilchrist. I haven't talked about her much. I would call her. But what it is remember that lady mannequin we have here?
Yeah.
That I have the blonde hair on. I don't know if I told you the story behind it.
No.
But it was here when we bought the place, and Arlene told the story that a transgender friend of hers would use that mannequin to see how the dress would look on him. Her. Excuse me if I get my pronouns wrong. I mean no disrespect at all. I say this because it kind of opened my mind to, as investigators were asking, you're a man or a woman. There's plausible that's another question we should ask, because after the person died, the roommate swore to God that mannequin would turn its head, would look at him, and I haven't seen nothing like that. But it has attachment of that of her,
Yeah,
yes, her,
yeah,
within the mannequin, and yeah, she always has a place here.
right,
I believe that people should be allowed to be themselves, no matter how different it may be from the march of the drum. So, like I said, she's going nowhere. Have nothing but the utmost respect for any spirit.
right. Now, with the car, the doll, everything, you have a whole separate room other than the cells with like old handcuffs. You have pictures of Dahmer. You have pictures of serial killers. You have all this memorabilia. Is it more active in that part of the jail from the memorabilia, or
Good question. Good question. Has been asked before, but the room gets not a lot of attention because it's being it's flying under the radar of the jail. But yeah,
right?
the more stuff I'm packing into there, and you've seen some of the stuff. We're
Yeah,
talking Indian artifacts from our property out in Williston. My wife and I own a battlefield of the First Seminole War
right,
out there between Williston and Dade County for all those blue holes that are out there. That
right.
was more important to gold to them than that fresh water source.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I have so many different items in there that, yeah, we get activity in there. We really do, because I've got so much from a lock that Martin Luther King was held behind in the '60s during the whole uprising of equal rights, to
Yeah,
a baton from Alcatraz, to a tear gas / Billy Club from Rikers Island. I
yeah,
make it a point. We make it a point, and a lot of it's for history. I like the aesthetics that we did, like this old furniture that you see we're sitting on. I'm going to let you talk to Patrick in a little bit here too,
awesome.
so I can take a little break. But aesthetically, when you go to these places, Chris, if it had nothing for the eye to see and for the mind to open,
Right.
and to open that to feel the vibe, to my father's ashes sitting over here under
Wow.
here,
Right.
and these are things that are going to get your mind thinking about the paranormal, and I don't want to say props, but they're there for, so you mentally get into it, like the mannequins and the dolls, and it makes you feel you're in a paranormal place. Like May Stringer, huge
Yeah.
fan of May Stringer House.
Yes. We just actually did an interview last week with Emma, one of the Dawkins.
I know of Emma, and I speak with her through Facebook and all. I have not had the opportunity. I think we passed one night at May Stringer, but
Yeah.
I enjoy our correspondence on Facebook. I do consider Facebook friend, but yes, I know I caught some of your episode, and yeah, she's a really interesting person. I love how enthusiastic she is.
It was,
As
it was
young,
really nice to talk to her.
yeah, she probably rambles on about May Stringer more than I ramble on about Gilchrist.
Yeah.
Nah, it's all good. That's why we're here to promote
What's the
that
point of it?
location.
She's passionate about the place.
And that's
I
what
talk a lot about May Stringer, and I don't even own the place. But it's good to see younger generations like yourselves being so involved in this, in the paranormal, formulating your own hypotheses, getting your own evidence in your own way. It's a really interesting uh, field to be in.
Yeah.
I push para unity though. Like I said, I'll never be an expert. I'll sometimes be a teacher, but I'll never be an expert.
Right.
I always will have something to learn.
Well, I feel like me growing up in St. Pete and Tampa is the death metal capital of the world. And like when I grew up, all the bands in Pinellas County and Tampa, we were all together. Like we were all friends. All the fans were all friends. We had such a tight community and such a unity, the Tampa Bay metal scene. I feel like we need to do the same thing with paranormal groups. Like,
Well,
we
that's
should-
why I've intertwined the music and the paranormal. This year I haven't reached out to Don or any of the heavy metals. I'm just gonna have a one day show event. But love having live music. Like I said at our next event, even though we're not selling anything, I'm still covering. Cheryl and I are covering the cost of and live bands are not cheap.
No, they're not.
Dodd, I must hats off. They gave us a really good deal. They were about their music, Cypher Machine, about the music.
Right.
They made those 4 bands made less than my one band, Redgate. They were there just getting their name out there. Don't get me wrong, Redgate is worth every penny. Great band. You'll get to see them this year. You weren't there the second night, I don't think. But yeah, just live music. We got to keep it alive somehow. And when Cheryl and I bought the place, we're wanting to get a bar so we can have live music.
Right.
I'll incorporate live music any way I can. But guys, I'm going to take a walk for a minute. Why don't you guys? Patrick is more experienced than I. You've met Patrick, I believe. This is Patrick Cardasco. He's got a lot of information. I need to walk away from it and get a drink.
You're fine.
This is my buddy Patrick Cardasco.
I'm gonna leave you here with Chris.
Hey, how you doing, Patrick?
Hey, how you doing?
You got it.
Excuse the hair.
Yeah.
No, you're
Excuse
fine.
me
My
for a moment.
hair. She's gotta step away real quick to use the restroom.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
can you explain to the viewers exactly who you are and what you do?
Sure. My name is Patrick Cordasco. I used to be a deputy sheriff in this county about 18, 19 years ago.
I'm about Willie J.
Oh, yeah. On my side of the globe, I'd say that been a practitioner in the craft for about 25, 27 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I've been involved in I guess you would say paranormal activity at a young age when I started learning the craft from my grandparents and my grandmother and my aunts and my mother and so forth. So I was introduced to the jail while I was a road deputy in the Gilchrist County Sheriff's Office. I came out here. There was a Halloween. When Miss Arlene Hale had the jail, she used to do the Halloween for the kids. People would tours through the jail, give the community a tour of what the jail was, and a lot of people would show up and have a good time. I've never been in this jail, never. In all the years I worked the road, the only time I came out to this jail is me and another deputy got a call from someone in the neighborhood, said then they saw people or lights going on inside the jail. We came out. We had no way to get in. Everything was locked down. Did you hear that? No, that was a jail cell. We just had a jail cell close as
That's awesome.
yeah, it's just boom. So
downstairs or upstairs?
Downstairs.
It was downstairs.
Something go on.
Downstairs, one of the ones downstairs.
Awesome.
But yeah, we so I came into jail. I was me and another deputy. You get a little tour, and there was a lady from Miami. She was a psychic medium. Never met the lady before. As soon as I walked in, she looked at me and she goes, "Mr. Black wants to talk to you."
Wow.
Explain Black was.
And I said, "Okay. Well, are you familiar with Mr. Black?"
I'm not.
Okay. A few years before I actually came into the jail, I was an investigator, crime scene investigator, death investigator for the sheriff's office.
Okay.
We got a call about a body located on Tyler Grade, which is a country road, Lime Rock Road, that splits the county in half. Got to the call. There was a body off to the road in the woods, and pretty mangled up. He had beautiful gold teeth, upper and lower gold teeth.
Oh wow.
That was Black's trademark. And when I saw the teeth, I mean, another deputy, along with our state attorney, actually showed up, and the sheriff himself showed up.
Right.
And small county, something like that happens, man. It word gets out fast.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You have to nip it in the bud quickly.
Yeah. I've been up there, and yeah, it's a very small town.
Oh yeah, everybody is in everybody's business for one reason or another.
Right.
And so I said, okay, I've seen that grill before.
Right.
The state attorney says that looks like Willie James. Street name was Black.
Wow.
Come to find out, through the investigation and finding a suspect, he was murdered. He was shot twice and dumped at this jail. Now I want to turn the camera. If you can see where Lee's standing, back there by the window.
Yeah.
Okay. His body was dumped right underneath that window where Mr. Lee's standing.
Oh wow.
Now he was shot twice with a small caliber revolver, about 38. Left for dead. The
Wow.
body, they came back to remove the body after everything quieted down. He was still alive. He was bleeding out, according to the suspect. This was his testimony. So he was shot point blank, 12 gauge shotgun. One to the chest, one to the head.
Forensic evidence still on the wall.
Yeah. So, and then they took his body out to Tyler Grade and dumped it. Well, unfortunately, I was the investigator assigned to that case. And so I sat in on his autopsy. Now, after the autopsy was over and we got the forensics evidence back from the body, how long he was out there based on, lividity and decomp of the body. My unit, I was in the Army Reserve at the time, my unit was recalled back to Afghanistan.
I'll be right back.
So the investigators that were here took over the case.
Right.
When I came back, I did not want to be an investigator anymore. I asked my supervisors to put me back on the road. So they did as a sergeant.
Wow.
This is where we come into the jail part. So we're at the jail, me and another deputy. I walk in. Here's a psychic medium from Miami, Hispanic woman. Do not recall her name. She tells me that Mr. Black wants to talk to me. Caught me off guard at first. And I said, okay, what does Black want to talk to me about?
Right.
That's all I remember. I found myself outside on the other side of the fence in the parking lot
Right.
with the medium, and Miss Arlene Hale had me outside. When I came to, I did not know why I was outside. They explained to me that Black used me as a vessel, I guess you could say, to speak about what happened and why he was here.
Oh wow.
I don't remember any of that, which caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been a witch for 27 years, and I've seen some crazy shit. Excuse my French, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I've seen some crazy things in my travels
Right.
and in my craft and what I've learned.
Right.
Never had that happen to me. I was kind of freaked out. I was like, that's not normal. Well, come to find out, it is normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And well, what happened? Well, the one that admitted to, according to the psychic, Black said the one that actually shot him was not the one they sent to prison. He was one of 3 people. There's 2 males and a female.
Right.
This information he gave to this medium through me because he related to me because I knew him from the street,
Right.
from his autopsy.
Right.
So after that, Miss Arlene called me a few days later and said, I want you to be part of my team here at the jail. And we talked a little bit. And it was kind of hard to do that, working the road and whatever they had going on.
Right.
But I stayed in touch and I did things and came and got to experience the spirits in the jail, converse with them. I've been pushed down the stairs. I've been told to get the F out. I've had a feeling of being overwhelmed, and also that feeling that you're being surrounded, like you're not supposed to be there.
Right.
And I don't think it had anything to do with me being a practitioner. I think it had a lot to me of being a cop.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So anytime something would happen, I'd use like jail terms like, you know, lights out, locked down, on your rack,
Right.
go to bed.
Right.
Okay.
Shut up,
So quiet, shut up, keep it down.
Yeah.
So those are my experiences here. Now, I've had things happen in here that were so unique that I can't explain.
Right.
Now, as a practitioner, I can explain. But if I just as Joe Blow, a guy that's never seen, it's like, how, you know, I've seen people, grown men, look at me and go, this is not right. I'm out.
Right.
And I've seen guys walk out. Literally guys that look like, you know, they got pythons, nice size arms, nice size guys.
Yeah.
You know, hard to intimidate, you know, a living person. But when the dead intimidates you, you can't fight back.
Right.
You have no ground to stand on because you're now in their realm.
Right.
And sometimes it can be kind of humorous,
Yeah.
you know. And,
Sometimes.
sometimes,
It's a little
you
crazy.
know. But I've seen things that, you know, that are unique to this jail. It's not a Steven Spielberg or a Stephen King theme here. It's whatever energy you bring into the jail is what they're going to feed off of.
Right.
You know, now I've seen guys come in here, negative attitude, skeptic, just a not a very good aura around them.
So
Those are the ones that get that fight or flight feeling. And I've seen guys come in, groups come in, and not even stay the whole night.
right.
They leave, you know, hour or two into I mean, they got this place for 6 hours. They got it for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you know, we're out. Because
Oh, not to cut you off or anything, but we only have 10 more minutes,
no, I'm
unfortunately.
gonna give you back to. Let me give you back to Lee.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry,
It was great to meet
Oh
you.
no, you're cool. I apologize. Listen, guys, y'all take care. Thank you.
It was nice
meeting you, sir.
You too.
Yeah, but I love his perspective because he had so many years with Arlene and actually did an investigation here and did a murder investigation here, and his perspective is invaluable.
Absolutely. Now, like I said, we only have about 10, 15 minutes. Do you want to give us a walkthrough of the jail?
I most certainly will. In fact, I'll have Patrick hold the phone so this way I'm not jostling around. And I'll start at the front door and work my way around with the light and everything.
Okay.
There you go. Here, I will hand you over.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been working. So,
For the
you
viewers
got
that are watching, And if you're
Got that one.
rewatching this on Facebook or YouTube, thank you for rewatching it. This is a live walkthrough
Of the Gilchrist
on
jail.
Gilchrist County Jail, straight through Underworld Ministry. It's all yours, Henry.
All righty, I'm gonna get to the front. We'll start a little tour with that haunted object we spoke of earlier. Here's the old 1947 paddy wagon.
Wow.
Bullet holes.
The bullet holes where the prisoner or the officer got shot.
But yeah, as you can see, here's the old jail,
Wow.
1928.
Imagine just being hauled off for that.
Yeah.
Original doors still here.
They would get locked in for 12 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And then this would be the hall. We talked about this when you were here, and this is where if you got on a line in the cells, you'd be in the hall. It's where you got some correction.
Yeah.
And then
So
cell one, I have is in tool crib right now. So we'll just skip over cell one. This would be Nancy's cell though. This is where Nancy's active. We'll walk into cell two. As you can see, the old window frames are still here. Here's Casper mobile. As you can see up in the corner, there's that's going to be part of the virtual ghost hunting here in the next month or two. Here's the old sink. Here's where we're going to start seeing examples of what life in Gilchrist is about. This was a two-man cell, two-woman cell, pretty much. The bed to be here. We'll see as we walk through more, of course. And you know there's not a lot of room in here.
No.
Here's one of our more active cells. But as you can see, here's one of the old metal beds. Toilet right there. The second bed would sit up here. This would be one of the first things I would think at Gilchrist would be a problem. Who's sleeping next to the friggin' toilet with their feet or their head? Well, I guess if I was on the bottom, I'd have my feet down there. But I'd be willing to fight the original guy in here to that top bunk because I wouldn't want my feet getting pissed on at all.
No.
But with that said, we'll go upstairs, the infamous upstairs.
Do you want to show them the memorabilia room first?
Well, I can, but you're going to be highly disappointed because we filmed the movie here a few weeks ago and I moved everything into there, so it's all half scattered.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, but we'll do the jail first, but I'll get there. Ooh, it's hot up here. Cell 4.
Now, how many people would be housed in that room?
What's that?
How many people were housed in that cell?
This cell would have held 6.
6.
2 beds here, a bed here, a bed here, a bed here. You see the remnants?
Yeah.
Bed here, and there's a bed here, and a bed here. Toilet sitting here.
You would have 12. You would have 6 inmates in there for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like I couldn't even imagine.
I'm gonna start sweating profusely here soon. Can you imagine 6 bodies in here as well? It's on each side of the jail, as you know, living here in Tampa, or you live in Tampa and Williston's not too far from the coast.
Yeah.
You get a breeze from the west, but if you're on the east, there's nothing coming in here. It's stifling in here.
Yeah. I do remember that when I was there. It was a very hot jail.
Yes. But here's another example. The old window frames. Here's the old sink and toilet.
Wow.
In cell 5. Fred and Frank's cell. As you can see, another Casper unit in the corner. This is every cell viewers on virtual Casper.
Right.
We'll see the investigation in each cell as in real time. So that's very exciting as we move along. We move into the hallway.
That's the hallway that I got hit in the chest.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll just skip to cell 7. This is the best representation of life at Gilchrist. There's the pump, the shitter, the sink. You'd have your other bunk up here, which we'll walk into 7. And it's got the 2 bunks in it. But yeah, can you imagine being in here?
No,
No.
I couldn't.
But yeah, here it is. Here would be your life in Gilchrist. Beds, toilet, 1 window.
And like,
You'd be lucky though. This is the west side.
yeah,
Look at I'm already. I've only been up here for how long, Chris? About 5 minutes. Look at me already.
yeah,
I'm already drenched with sweat. There's not a breeze to be had.
yeah. I do remember that part. I was sweating like crazy.
Ah!
Now, when we were up there, like going through like more random jails and everything, and like pictures, there's not a lot of graffiti on the wall.
Did you hear that?
I heard that, but I don't know where.
That was like a bumping downstairs at one of the cell doors.
Did you hear that?
I
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
that.
He's downstairs.
It's only Patrick and I in here. We just heard one of the doors kind of bump downstairs.
That's
I'll have
awesome.
to check Casper tonight. I'll have to check the footage. But here's the shower. Here's where you would take your shower, which I'm not that really big of a guy, and there's not much room in here for me.
Right.
Hey, but at least you couldn't get raped in here, huh?
That's true. That's true.
They have to wait till you get back to you.
All right, have to wait till you get back to the cell.
Yeah.
One time I was doing an investigation in here, and one of the questions, I don't know if Patrick was here with me that day, but I asked seriously, I go, well, were you raped here at the jail? And I got a response, a yes. And I said, did you enjoy it? And I got a response of fuck you.
Wow.
Yeah, an EVP. That was pretty funny. I had a kick. I was trying to be light about it, but the spirit here did not take too friendly to it. So I kind of watched myself. But yeah, here's cell 8. This is our most active cell. The most heaviest cell, angry cell, fight or kill or die cell.
This is the guy, he doesn't like men.
He doesn't like a lot of people. He likes mashed potatoes though.
And he likes blondes.
Right, and women will get touched here. Blondes will get touched in here more than. I can't say all of them are going to sit here and try to fake being touched, but I haven't been touched here.
This is the guy that ran out on me.
Yeah.
So,
Wait.
unfortunately, we gotta cut the broadcast short for this interview.
Just because it probably is.
Just for the place that we're at, we only have a time limit.
Right. I understand.
I feel like if you're up to it, we can do a part 2 on this.
We most certainly can do a part 2. Moving closer to when it gets a little cooler in here, but yeah, I'd love to be a part of the show again because I've got so much information to give here.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can do a live show in October.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, I will be busy from about 10 till 3, so maybe we could set up a live show from in here. I'll be more than happy to set you guys up. We'll do actual live show from the Gilchrist.
Absolutely.
Now it'll be cooler. It'll be cooler here. Yeah, we'll do part 2 October 28th. My viewers from the Gilchrist, look out for it that morning. I'm glad this is part of our October 20th Para Uni Fest for that ministry here, doing an actual live interview from the Gilchrist.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys have a good night.
You too.
We look forward to the next time. You have a great night.
Yes, looking forward to the 28th of October.
Go get some cold air.
All right. We had a little technical difficulties this week.
It was a rough start, but
I feel like we did okay. If you're on YouTube, give us a like, comment, and share.
subscribe.
Hit that little bell. If you're on Facebook right now, follow us. Well, there will be a part 2 to this. I feel like the part 2
We'll actually get to do the tour.
we'll actually get to do a live investigation.
Yes. We're booked out for the whole rest of the month, so we're gonna figure
Yes.
out another day to do this. Possibly we'll have an extra live stream during one of our weeks after I come back from Chicago, of course.
Yes. So, October 28th, Underworld Ministry is going to be at Gilchrist.
I guess we have plans in October.
We have plans. Again,
So we'll see you guys next week.
thank you for coming.
I won't be sitting right here next week.
I will be here.
Not here.
Maybe we can get her on screen. Would you guys
Maybe.
like that? Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
It's gonna be a busy
If not, you can just see my beautiful face.
week. Yeah.
Thank you for coming,
Thank
people.
you guys. Anyone who's watching right now, thank you. Anyone who's watching later on, thank you. Yep.
Right.
You
Stay
guys have a
creepy,
good
my
night. We
friends.
love you.
Goodbye.